What's up guys, AZG here. Welcome back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck of the Day. Today's deck of the day is going to be on my favorite ArcV archetype, Raidraptor. Raidraptor is an archetype that despite having a lot of cards to its disposal, it always felt like the support would miss the mark. Thus, even though the strategy had a lot of good cards, it never really made it to the top cut. However, with the new releases from Phantom Nightmare, the deck seems to have finally risen to new heights, both in power and versatility, so I wanted to showcase this deck for you guys because it is a very interesting deck that can take a lot of different directions depending on player choice. Before we begin, if you enjoy our content, leave a like, subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications, and comment down below what you think of the new support. What do you think of Raidraptor as a whole, and do you think it's going to be competitively viable this format? Now, without further ado, let's get to the deck profile. Starting off this deck profile, we have 3 copies of Raidraptor Tribute Lanius. During the main phase, this card can send any Raidraptor card from the deck to the graveyard. This effect could honestly be the only effect, but it does have a secondary effect that if it destroys a monster in battle during the main phase 2, you get to search a rank up quick play, but you're locked from using anything other than the Raidraptors. It doesn't really matter, all you want to do is just send guys to the graveyard from your deck. After that, we have 3 copies of Strangulanius. If you control a dark monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you control an Xyz monster, you can special summon a level 4 Raidraptor from the graveyard with its effects negated, a very important card to the deck's extension and recovery for a quick rank 4. Moving on, we have 3 copies of the newly released Raidraptor Bloom Vulture. If you control no monsters, or if you only control wing beasts, you can special summon this card along with another level 4, and if you control no monsters, you can special summon this card as well as another level 4 from the graveyard. Now, you can only use one of these effects per turn, so you cannot use both, like special summon both of these cards and your field gets wiped and then bring them back. Not happening, but this card is a phenomenal extension tool that allows you to both further your plays or make a comeback if your opponent cracks your board. Following that, we have 3 copies of Raidraptor Noir Lanius. If this card is normal special summon this turn, you can target a Raidraptor on your field and add a Raidraptor with a different level from that monster from your deck to your hand. Also, if this card is in the graveyard, you can banish it to increase the level of all Raidraptors by 1, which enables easy access to your new Brave Strix. After that, we have 1 copy of Raider's Wing. This thing I love about this card is that makes Rusty's effect not necessarily filled with crippling bricks into your deck like Cloak, because it always counts as a Phantom Rights card and a Raidraptor card. This card can be sent by Bardich's effect and can come back by detaching a material from rank 4. We also play 1 copy of Mimicry Lanius. You can send this card from the graveyard with Tribute Lanius' effect and banish it to get any Raidraptor card from your deck to your hand. And finally, we have a few extenders in the forms of 1 copy of Pain Lanius as well as 1 copy of Sinking Lanius. Pain Lanius can be searched by Noir, which means that you get an easy rank 4 like that, and Sinking Lanius is usually searched by the effect of 4 Strix for a quick White Strix. We also play 3 copies of Simorgh the Bird of Perfection, a simple extender for wing beasts, and finally 1 copy of Phantom Knight's Silence. This card can be bricky, but you can special summon this card when you have either Rider's Wing or Rusty, and you can use it either as a link material or use Rusty's effect to pop it to get it to the graveyard to banish it for a search. Moving on to the hand drops, we have 3 copies of Ash Blossom as well as 3 copies of Droll and Lockbird. In my opinion, the most consistent good hand traps in this format, and the only other hand trap that I consider for this deck is Nibiru because the deck has some difficulty playing through established boards. Moving on to the spell cards, you need to play only 1 copy of each Raidraptor spell trap because they are all highly searchable, so we play a bunch of 1-ups, starting off with the rank ups. 1 copy of rank up magic Raidraptor Skip Force. This is the main rank up that you will be using for your combo. You can get it by either Wise Strix or by the brand new Brave Strix, and it allows you to climb from Brave Strix into Arsenal Falcon. Then 1 copy of Quick Launch as well as 1 copy of Phantom Knight's rank up Magic Force. Quick Launch is here to enable a quick and easy Kali Yuga during your opponent's turn, and Magic Force allows you to ladder from any Xyz monster into your Raidraptors while also dodging removal. We also play 1 copy of the new Raidraptor's Roost. This is a searchable spell that searches other spell traps. When a Raidraptor is summoned from the extra deck, you can add any spell trap you want from your deck, and you can target 3 of your banished or in the graveyard Raidraptors, put them at the bottom of the deck, and then draw a card. Very strong spell, but you only need to play 1 copy of it. We also play 1 copy of Nest, a searchable continuous card that searches monsters, 1 copy of Elborz, the Simorgh's field spell. I have thought about cutting this card and use Simorgh's just as Kage to Kage, but it does allow for some nice extension, so it is not all that bad. And here's one of my personal favorite cards from the new set, 3 copies of Swallow's Quarry. This card is really good. You contribute any wing beast monster from your hand or field to add any monster with the same level from your deck deck to your hand. This means that you can use it during the draw phase to fix your hand without getting drawn, use it to dodge removal, and potentially send cards like Mimicry or Bloom to the graveyard to use their effects. Phenomenal card and a great inclusion for the strategy. For the rest of the spells, we only need to play 2 copies of Talent as well as 1 copy of Called by the Grave. Nothing to say about these cards, honestly. Finally, for the traps, we have 1 copy of Raidraptor Barrage. This card can negate any card on the field as long as you have an Xyz monster on board. You have some raised recovery to add a Raidraptor that is either banished or in the graveyard to your hand. And finally, 1 copy of Shade Brigandine. This card is the reason I decided not to play Imperm in the strategy, so I can actually have an available extender whether I draw this card or set it with Rusty's effect. Moving on to the X deck, we have 1 copy of the brand new Raidraptor Rising Rebellion Falcon. This card is insane. This card is unaffected by all card effects, and when summoned it can destroy all cards your opponent controls. Then if it has 3 or more Raidraptors as material, it can burn your opponent for your opponent's monster's attack points. This card is an absolute field nuke, and it also has an effect replacement effect that you can basically use your spent Raidraptors as Xyz monsters. For example, you can use Arsenal Falcon to summon monsters, or you can use Force Strix to search out monsters. This is an absolutely amazing boss monster, and I was also considering about using Ultimate Falcon because it can burn your opponent without caring about your opponent having cards to pop, which also can be very useful, especially if you're going through time, and because the deck takes a lot of time to make its plays, it can take a lot of time and you can always go to time. But Rising is an incredible boss monster for this strategy, and at the moment I am only playing him. After that, we have 1 copy of Kali Yuga. You set this card up pretty easily, and if it resolves, I cannot see how you can lose the game. 1 Arsenal Falcon. This card summons monsters from deck, but is also somewhat insulates the board from Nib, because you can summon this card as the 5th summon, and when it is sent to the graveyard, while this card has a material, it brings out a free Rebellion Falcon. After that, we have 1 copy of Brave Strix, a very important card in the combo. During your turn, you can detach a material from either this card to either set a Raidraptor spell trap from your deck or add a rank up magic from your deck to your hand, which is gonna be Skip Force, which means that you can easily climb into an Arsenal Falcon. Next, we have 1 copy of Arc Rebellion Xyz Dragon. I decided this card over Rebellion and Requiem combo because it takes less space in the extra deck and it is laughably easy to one-shot your opponents through this card. After that, we have 2 copies of Force Strix. It's just an easy rank 4 monster that enables you to search any monster you want from the deck, but you could potentially attempt to play only 1 thanks to the new spell card that allows you to put the 1 spent copy back in the extra deck to draw a card as well. The following card is you have to play 2 of, though. It is Raider's Knight. This is used for the main combo to make Brave Strix quickly, and the second copy can easily be used for a quick and easy rebellion to close out the game. 1 copy of Gaga Gaga Magician. You can special summon this card because it's a dark monster, and then you can use this card to revive an Arsenal Falcon that you can then make Kali Yuga with. And finally, 1 copy of Redoer because it is a very powerful dark Xyz monster. For the links, you need to play 2 copies of Wise Strix. This card is absolutely incredible, gets monsters out of the deck, and it is also an easy way to get your rank ups in case something like Brave Strix gets negated. 1 copy of Rusty to send 1 copy of Raider's Wing as well as 1 copy of Boots to the Graveyard to use for extension. And finally, 1 copy of SP Little Knight to wrap up this deck profile. All in all, I adore this deck. It is a high skill, high ceiling deck that finally seems to be most capable to crack in the metagame. It looks stunning, the plays are interesting and diverse, and hopefully you guys can give it a shot to discover this deck's incredible potential. Thank you guys for watching today's deck profile. If you enjoyed this deck profile, please make sure to subscribe to AZG, hit the notification bell, and leave us a comment letting us know what are your thoughts on the new deck, what are your thoughts on the deck profile, what are your thoughts on the archetype, and do you think it is finally time for the Raidraptors to enter the competitive fray? Thank you guys again for everything, and take care everybody. See ya!